It's 5:10 on August 3, 2025. At the Verivka salient near Pokrovsk, the silence of dawn shatters. Ukrainian scouts pick up dozens of armored tracks pushing through the mist. Radios spark alive with terse commands. Engines thunder. Dust rises. A Russian column surges forward. T-90M, T-80 BVM, BMP-3, and heavy BMP-T Terminators jam together on a narrow road. Behind them roll air defense trucks, radars already spinning. Overhead, a Leleka 100 circles high, feeding live images to operators on the ground. Closer to the tree line, small FPV Luti drones buzz impatiently, while a massive Baba Yaga quadcopter lifts off carrying live mines. Special forces on motorcycles rev their engines, waiting for the word. To the west, a HIMARS battery stands ready. Then first flashes cut through the haze. Tracers streak. Rockets roar. In the next 20 minutes, this kill zone will decide if Pokrovsk holds or burns. The Verivka salient is more than farmland. It is the shield before Pokrovsk, a key junction in the Donbass. If Russian armor breaks through here, the road west opens wide, and with it, the chance to push deep into Ukrainian defenses. For Moscow, this assault is a gamble to regain momentum. For Kyiv, it is survival. Ukraine knows the cost of failure. Pokrovsk is not just another town. It is a lifeline. Logistics hubs, fuel depots, and medical points all connect here. Lose it, and Ukrainian supply lines in the region collapse. For civilians still hiding in basements, it means encirclement. For soldiers in trenches, it means being cut off with no way out. The Russian column is no ordinary strike group. It carries the banner of the 1st Guards Tank Army, once seen as elite. T-90M Proryev tanks form the spearhead. TOS 1 Ampere rocket launchers lurk in the back, capable of blanketing entire blocks with fire. Electronic warfare trucks like the Krasuka 4 hum quietly, built to blind drones and jam radios. If this push succeeds, it will echo far beyond the battlefield, proof that Russia can still deliver heavy blows. But Ukraine has built its defense on precision, speed, and creativity. Small FPV drones, cheap but lethal, wait in the trees. Operators know one strike on an air defense truck can expose the whole column. Special forces on motorcycles, light and mobile, prepare to weave through chaos. And in the distance, the long arm of HIMARS waits for the right target. It is David against Goliath, but with sharper eyes and faster hands. The stakes are clear. If Ukraine holds, Pokrovsk stands. If not, the gates to the west swing wide open. And now, I want to hear from you. If you think Ukraine's drones can turn this massive assault into a trap, press 1" the comments. If you believe Russia's armored push still has the weight to crush through, press 9. 5:13. The first Ukrainian strike comes fast. A HIMARS crew locks coordinates on a Krasuka 4 jammer. Seconds later, 6 rockets arc high, then dive. The blast wipes the electronic warfare truck from the map, and with it, Russia's shield against drones. Operators cheer for just a moment now. The air is theirs. Leleka 100 drones climb higher, streaming images. FPV Luti units dart forward, hunting like wasps. Their target, the armored bubble around Panzer S1 and Tor M2 launchers. The first FPV slams into a Tor. A second detonates on the reload vehicle. Fireballs bloom. Smoke blinds the convoy's rear. Air defense is cracking. 5:15. The Baba Yaga quadcopter, slow but heavy, tilts forward. Operators steer it above the road, dropping mines one by one. They clank on asphalt, rolling under treads. Russian drivers swerve, but the column is too tight. Tanks break. What was a spearhead becomes a knot of steel. From the tree line, motorcycles roar. Ukrainian SSO operators surge out, rifles raised. They fire rockets point-blank. NLAW AT-4 RPG-26 tubes slung over shoulders. Each hit destroys another stalled machine. Tanks try to traverse, but the jam leaves them blind and slow. Explosions echo like drumbeats. 5:18. Russia fights back. Guns thunder, spraying the fields. A TOS 1 Ampere launcher lurches to fire, but before it can unleash, an FPV drone dives straight into its warhead rack. The sky erupts. 1 TOS, 1 Ampere ignites, then sets off the next. The shockwave rattles even the operators in cover. 5:19. EW silent. Air picture clean. A controller calls. Laleka marks an escape lane. Baba Yaga drops a last mine to choke it shut. A BMP-3 bogs in the field. An FPV skims low and punches its rear deck. Farther up, a Javelin team rises from a culvert, top attacks a T-90M, then vanishes. 5:20. A surviving Tor cold starts radar. An FPV slices in through the open hatch. The crew bails into fire. SSO bikes weave between wrecks, calling targets. Panzer antenna down, an operator reports, and 2 more FPVs ride the plume straight into its launch rails. Smoke rolls heavy. The convoy is no longer advancing. It is pinned, broken, and burning. The first wave has been stopped in less than 10 minutes, but new engines rumble in the trees, and the second wave is forming. 5:23. The second wave pushes in. Engines roar as more T-90M and BMP-3 grind through the smoke, trying to clear the wrecks. Russian commanders shout for momentum. But every path forward is blocked by burning steel. The column fractures, armor clumping in pockets, turrets scanning wildly for targets they can't see. FPV drones swoop again, striking vehicles that expose their sides. One, Luudi, slams into a BMP turret, blowing it open. Another detonates under a tank's rear armor, black smoke belching skyward. Russian gunners spray heavy fire into tree lines, but the Ukrainians keep shifting, never staying still long enough to be hit. 5:25. A Panzer S-1 manages to lock on a drone swarm. Missiles streak out, exploding 2 in midair. But as its tubes empty, a Javelin arcs from cover and smashes its chassis. Flames gut the launcher. Operators whisper updates into radios. Gap open! Right flank! Instantly, motorcycles dart in, firing AT-4 into exposed vehicles. The battlefield shrinks to chaos. Metal screams, engines stall, and turrets jam. Russian infantry dismount and scatter, trying to set up RPG ambushes, but they are spotted from above. Baba Yaga hovers back in, its frame groaning under new loads. Mines fall, landing between infantry squads and sealing them from retreat. Panic ripples outward. 5:28. Another TOS-1 Ampere tries to bring its rockets online. Operators launch 2 FPV in quick succession. The first tears open the launcher's side. The second dives into its payload. The explosion ripples across the convoy, shoving tanks sideways and blasting infantry flat against the dirt. Survivors stumble, coughing through black smoke. 5:30. Ukrainian operators sense the tipping point. With air defenses shattered and armor clogged, every FPV becomes a scalpel. One by one, they carve the column down. Engines idle. Turrets turn nervously. But the offensive drive is gone. The pressure is brutal. Each minute Ukraine delays is a minute closer to breaking the assault. The field has become a graveyard of stalled armor. Yet the fight is not finished. And here's where I want your take. If you think Ukraine's ambush has turned the tide for good, press 1. If you believe Russia can still claw back with sheer numbers, press 9 and make sure you're subscribed to follow the next clash. 5:33. Just as Ukrainian operators think the column is finished, the unexpected hits. From behind the tree line, new signals spike. Russian electronic warfare units, hidden until now, light up the spectrum. Drone feeds flicker. Controllers slam fists as video screens stutter and freeze. For the first time, Ukraine's eyes in the sky begin to blink shut. 5:34. Russian infantry, pinned for minutes, suddenly surge. With smoke cover and jamming interference, squads push through gaps on foot. RPGs streak out from unexpected angles, hammering into tree lines where operators hide. A Ukrainian bike squad is caught in the open. One RPG detonates close, shredding 2 motorcycles. Survivors scatter, calling for backup. 5:36. More surprises follow. A group of Russian BMP-3, thought disabled, lurches forward again, their autocannon spitting fire. One drone operator curses as his FPV loses signal mid-dive, slamming harmlessly into dirt. For the first time in this fight, momentum tilts. Ukrainian units must adapt fast or risk losing their grip on the kill zone. 5:38. Commanders call for reserves. Another Leleka 100 is launched, circling wide to dodge jamming. A second Baba Yaga drone takes off, straining with improvised loads. SSO squads dig in tighter, switching to ambush tactics. This is no longer just drones against armor, it is soldiers against soldiers, in smoke and mud, each side clawing for survival. The twist is brutal. Russia has found a way to disrupt Ukraine's drone advantage, if only for a moment. That window could be enough for armor to break free. The question now, can Ukraine strike hard again before the Russians regroup, or will the jamming turn the tide? 5:42. The battlefield is a furnace. Black smoke rolls low, blotting out the dawn. Through the haze, Russian tanks push again, their treads clanking over wrecks. Commanders scream for one last push. BMP surge forward, autocannons hammering. The assault is desperate, but massive. If they break through now, Pokrovsk is open. 5:43. Ukrainian operators rally. A Leleka 100 climbs above the jamming, feeding coordinates to gunners on the ground. HIMARS reloads are still minutes away, but FPV remain. Operators grip controllers tight, guiding swarms low through smoke. One drone slams into a T-90M turret, another burrows under a BMP belly. Explosions roll in sequence, shredding the lead wedge. 5:45. The Baba Yaga quadcopter crawls forward, carrying its last payload. It hovers above the road and drops mines directly onto stalled tanks. Tracks grind, then seize. A T-80 BVM erupts as its engine bay cooks off. Russian infantry dive for cover, firing RPG wildly. One rocket detonates near an SSO squad, killing two. The survivors keep firing, RPG-26 hammering into steel giants at close range. 5:47. The Russians throw everything. Autocannons rake the fields, machine guns chew through trees. Another TOS-1 Ampere, thought destroyed, rattles alive, but an FPV slices in, detonating its rack before it can fire. The blast topples a BMP nearby. For every step Russia tries, Ukraine cuts it down. 5:49. The climax arrives. A surviving Panzer S-1 turns its gun skyward, cutting down one FPV after another. But as it fires, its radar dishes glow bright on Ukrainian screens. HIMARS crew sees the signal. Within seconds, rockets scream overhead and pulverize the Panzer in a rain of fire. The last layer of protection vanishes. 5:50. What remains of the Russian column falters. Crews abandon vehicles, running through mud and fire. Ukrainian bikes chase them down, short bursts of rifle fire snapping through the smoke. Drones hunt stragglers. One by one, the machines stop moving. The offensive dies here. The final moments are savage. Ukraine's light units stand against Russia's heaviest steel and win. If you believe this climax proves agility beats sheer numbers, press 1 inch the comments. If you think Russia's weight of armor could still turn future battles, press 9 and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what comes next. 5:55. Silence falls over the Verivka salient. The smoke still hangs thick, but the battle is decided. What was once a 7-kilometer armored thrust now lies as twisted wreckage. More than 90 tanks and dozens of BMP, BMPT, and support vehicles litter the fields. The cost to Russia is staggering: $500 million of steel burned in less than 25 minutes. For Ukraine, the victory is clear but not bloodless. 9 special operators lie dead, 22 more wounded. Their motorcycles still smolder near the tree line, silent markers of the men who rode them into the storm. Operators speak in clipped voices, their hands trembling from the fight. They know they stopped a massive push, but they also know how close it came to breaking through. Strategically, the clash at Pokrovsk is more than a local skirmish. It proves that small mobile units with drones and precision fire can stop Russia's heaviest armor cold. It shows that billion-dollar tank armies can be unraveled by swarms of cheap FPV, motorcycles, and quick thinking. For Kyiv, it is a morale surge. For Moscow, it is a warning that brute force alone is no longer enough. The images spread quickly. Columns of Russian armor burning, drone footage of pinpoint strikes, motorcycles weaving through chaos. Allies watch closely. NATO planners take notes. Military analysts debate how long Russia can sustain such losses, and whether Ukraine's drone warfare model is the future of ground combat. But with every victory comes a shadow. Russia will adapt, learn, and return with countermeasures. Cheap drones force expensive defenses. The battlefield is evolving faster than anyone imagined. Tonight, Ukraine held Pokrovsk. Tomorrow, the challenge begins again. The aftermath leaves one lingering question. Was this just a battle won, or the start of a shift in modern warfare? Let me know what you think. If you see this as Ukraine proving the future of combat, press 1. If you believe Russia still has the depth to absorb losses and strike back harder, press 9 and subscribe so you don't miss what comes next.